Hi friends, my name is Rajdeep and you are watching Fun with Mathematics. So today we will be doing the second part of percentage where we will be solving some of the standard sums that usually comes in the exams of class 7-8 standard of CBSE, ICSE and WBSE boards. If you have not watched my previous video on percentage, that is the first part of percentage where we have discussed some of the basic sums of percentage chapter, then I would recommend you to watch that video first so that you have a clear concept about the percentage chapter. So before we start our today's topic, if you are new to my channel, please like, share and subscribe so that you get the notification whenever I post a new video. So let's start. So let's head towards our first sum. The price of a shirt is reduced by 12% in a discount sale. If its present price is rupees 1188, find its original price. So they are telling you that a price of a shirt is reduced by 12% and after reducing the price becomes 1188 and they are asking to find the original price. So we don't know the original price, so we are assuming the original price of the shirt is rupees X. So discount on the shirt is 12%, so 12% of X is 12X by 100, right? So if we discount from the original price, that is 12X by 100 from the X, we will get the value of the shirt after discount, and that's what they have already given in the sum as 1188. So we will form an equation where we will find the value of X. So we are writing 88X 88X by 100 equals to rupees 1188, right? So that is the value of the shirt after discount. We are equalizing and in the equation we are finding the value of X as 1350. So the original price of the shirt is rupees 1350. Moving to a very interesting sum. The salary of an officer is increased by 20%. By what percentage should the new salary be reduced to restore the original salary? So in this sum they are telling you the salary of an officer is increased by how much percentage? 20%. So they are asking you by what percentage should the new salary be reduced to restore the original salary. So in this case we have a very misconception that suppose if a number is increased by 20% and in order to get back the same number, the original number, we have to decrease by the same percentage. That conception is wrong. So in this sum we don't know the original salary, so we are assuming the original salary is rupees 100 and after increment of 20% the new salary is becoming 120, rupees 120. So by how much percent is this increasing? By rupees 20. Simply we are deducting rupees 100 from 120 and we are getting rupees 20, right? So now we have to find the reduction percentage. So the formula is increase or decrease by initial value into 100. Now why we are taking 120 as initial value? Because we are decreasing from 120 to 100. So the initial value becomes 120. So 20 by 120 into 100, it is coming as 100 by 6, which is basically a improper fraction, and if we convert into mixed fraction, it is coming 16 2 by 3%. Now you can see that there is a difference between the increase and the decrease percentage. So the increase percentage and the decrease percentage are not same. Again a very similar kind of sum. John's income is 20% more than that of Mr. Thomas. How much percentage is the income of Mr. Thomas less than that of John? So John's income is 20% more than Thomas. That doesn't mean Thomas' income is 20% less than that of John. So we don't know the income of Mr. Thomas, so we are assuming 100 is the income of Mr. Thomas. So John's income is 20% more, that is rupees 120, right? So how much by how much John's income is more than that of Mr. Thomas? Is by rupees 20. 120 minus 100 is rupees 20. Now if we have to find how much percent is the income of Mr. Thomas less than that of John, we have to write the difference value in the numerator. That is the 20 is the difference value of difference of the income, right? And with whom we are comparing? We are comparing Thomas' income with John. So with John's income we are comparing. So we are writing the John's income is in the denominator, and it is multiplied by 100 because we are finding the percentage, and the percent is coming as 16 2 by 3%. So therefore Mr. Thomas' income is less than that of John's income by 16 2 by 3%. Moving to our next sum. Due to an increase in the price of sugar by 25%, by how much percent must a householder decrease the consumption of sugar so that there is no increase in the expenditure on sugar? So in this sum they are telling you there is an increase in the price of sugar by 25%, and if a householder wants to keep his expenditure constant, that means if he don't want to increase in expenditure, by how much percent he should decrease his consumption. So we are assuming the consumption of sugar originally be 1 unit and its cost was rupees 100. Now new cost of 1 unit of sugar is 125 as it is increased by 25%, right? So now we are applying the unitary method. Rupees 125 yield 1 unit of sugar, so rupees 1 will yield 1 by 125 unit of sugar, and rupees 100 will yield rupees 1 by 25 into 100 unit, that is 4 by unit of sugar. So what is the reduction in consumption? That is, previously in rupees 100 we were getting 1 unit of sugar, and now in rupees 100 we are getting 4 by unit of sugar. So the decrease in consumption is 1 minus 4 by 5 equals to 1 by 5 unit of sugar, right? So if we have to find the reduction percentage consumption, so we have to, in the numerator we have to write the decrease or increase, that is the 1 by 5 is the decrease, right? And the denominator we have to write the previous unit, original unit. The original unit was 1, and as it was in the fraction, it is reversing into 1 by 1 into 100, right? So 100 by 5%, that is 20%. So the reduction percent is 20%. Coming to a very easy sum, a certain school has 300 students, 142 of whom are boys. It has 30 teachers, 12 of whom are men. What percent of the total number of students and teachers in the school is female? So the total number of students in the school is 300, out of which 142 are men. So the rest, that is 300 minus 142, 158 are female students. Similarly, total number of teachers in the school is 30, out of which 12 are men. So the rest, that is 30 minus 12, 18 are female teachers. So the total number of females is the total number of female students and the total number of female teachers, that is 158 plus 18, 176. And the total population of the school is total number of students and the total number of teachers, that is 330. And we have to find the percent of females out of total population, right? So we have to write the number of females in the numerator, and out of which we are finding, that is the total population 330, we have to write it in the denominator into 100, and it is coming as 160 by 3%, and we can write in the decimal form as 53.33%. So our next sum is, after spending 80% of his income and giving 10% of the remainder in a charity, a man has rupees 46260 left with him. Find his income. So he is basically spending overall 90%, and the left amount is 46260. We have to build an equation, and from that equation we have to find the value of x. So we don't know the income of the man, we are assuming the income as x, and the 80% of his income is pending, so 80% of x is 4x by 5, right? So if we deduct the income spent from the total income, that is 4x by 5 from x, we are getting the amount left after all the expenditure, that is x by 5. So now we have to find the amount given to the charity. So the amount given to the charity is 10% on the remaining amount, right? So 10% of the remaining amount is 10% of x by 5, that is x by 50. So now what amount is left after spending on charity? That is x by 50. We are deducting x by 50 from x by 5, right? So x by 50 is the amount given to charity, and we are deducting this from the amount left after all the expenditure. So it is coming, amount left after the charity is coming is as 9x by 50. So this is the amount left, and this must be equals to 46260, right? So from this we are easily finding the value of x as 257000. So therefore the income of the man is rupees 257000. Let's head towards our next sum. Mohan's income is rupees 15500 per month. He saves 11% of his income. If his income increases by 10%, then he reduces his saving by 1%. How much does he save now? So in this sum they are telling you Mohan's income is rupees 15500 per month and he saves 11% of his total income. Now if his income is increased by 10%, then his savings is reduced by 1%. They are asking you how much does he save now. So Mohan's saving is 11% of his total income, that is 15500. So 11% of 15500 is rupees 1705. Now if his income is increased by 10%, so his how much amount of income is increasing, that is 10% of his total income, that is 15500. So how much it is increased? 1550. So now how much is the total income right now after increment? 15500 plus 1550, that is 17050. Now in the sum his savings is reduced by 1%. So previously he was saving 11% of his total income. Now after reduction his savings is becoming 11 minus 1, that is 10%, right? So now his savings is 10% of his present income. So after increment the present income is 17050. So 10% of the present income is rupees 1705. So now his savings is 1705 and previously he was also saving 705. So basically the amount of his present and earlier savings are same. So this sum is comparatively easier than the previous one. Ankit was given an increment of 10% on his salary. His new salary is rupees 3575. What was his salary before increment? So in this sum they are telling you Ankit was given how much increment? 10% increment on his salary. And now his present salary is rupees 3575. So they are asking you to find his original salary, that is before increment, right? So we don't know the initial salary, we are assuming as rupees X. So salary before increment plus increment given on salary equals to new salary. This is the conception, right? So the new salary is salary before the increment plus increment given on salary. So X is the initial salary and how much it is increasing, 10% of X. So X plus 10% of X is the present salary, right? And the present salary is now given as 3575. So we are forming an equation and so we tend to X plus 10% of X equals to 3575, and if we solve the equation we are finding the value of X and the value of X is coming as 3250. So salary before increment is rupees 3250. Moving to our next sum, the population of a town increases by 10% annually. If the present population is 22,000, find its population a year ago. So in this sum they are telling you by how much the population is increasing annually, that is 10%. If the present population is 22,000, they are asking you to find the population a year ago. So we don't know the population a year ago, so we are assuming as X. So after the population is increased by 10%, the present population is X plus 10% of X, right? So X is the population 1 year ago, and by how much it is increasing? 10% of X, right? So X plus 10% of X is 11X by 10. So that is the population right now, is the present population. So that is given on the sum, that's 22,000. So 11x by 10 must be equals to 22,000. So we are forming an equation. From this equation we are finding the value of x as 20,000. So the population of the town 1 year ago is 20,000. Moving to our last sum of this percentage chapter, the value of a machine depreciates every year by 5%. If the present value of the machine be rupees 1 lakh, what will be its value after 2 years? So in this sum, they are telling you by how much percent the value of the machine is depreciating every year, that is by 5%. If the value of the machine is rupees 1 lakh, they are asking you what will be its value after 2 years. So we know the value of the machine is 1 lakh. So by how much percentage is depreciating, that is by 5%. So what will be the depreciation amount for the first year? 5% of the value of the machine, that is 1 lakh, and is coming as rupees 5,000, right? So if we have to find the value of the machine after 1 year, we have to deduct the first year depreciation amount from the total value of the machine. So 5,000 from 1 lakh, that is 95,000, right? So we have to calculate the depreciation amount for another 1 year, right? So the value of the machine in the second year is 95,000. So again 5% is the depreciation percentage. 5% of 95,000, that is 4750. So if we deduct the depreciation amount for the second year from the value of the machine in the second year, that is 4750, from 95,000 we will get the value of the machine after 2 years, that is rupees 90,250. So after 2 years the value of the machine will be rupees 90,250. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you have liked this video, and if you have any further doubts or any problems on this chapter, you can definitely write in the comment section of this video, or you can send me message on my Facebook page, that is www.facebook.com/funwithmathematics.in, and I will try to get back to you and solve your problems as soon as possible. So for now, bye bye, see you soon.